Hello, this is Star Television on Channel 21. Welcome to the National News Bulletin. I am Leonora JALLOH and we begin with the top stories. The winner of the just concluded by-election in Constituency 110, Honorable Kade Davies, describes a victory as a win for democracy and the rule of law and promised to engage stakeholders to map out a strategy for the development of the constituency.
This is your humble servant, the newly elected for another third time, Honorable Kade Davies, talking to you. Let's be calm in our celebration. Let's have respect for our opponent.
3 appeals court justices and 7 high court justices have on Friday, December 11th, subscribed to the oath of office before the Honorable Chief Justice, His Lordship Justice Desmond Babatunde Edwards. The Board of Trustees, Management and Staff of the National Social Security and Insurance Trust NASSIT has awarded 33 most compliance institutions for their prompt and regular registration to the NASSIT scheme.
The object for which NASSIT is established is to make sure we receive contributions from employers for their workers.
The founder and CEO Community Health Foundation, Linda MUKSON, SESAY, has held a visit of Vice President Dr. MOHAMED JALLOH to the site of a proposed maternity and pediatrics hospital at Silicon Road, Mile 91 as historic and a further testament to the fact that the country is more than ready to make major interventions in the health sector.
For him to see the current project we are doing at Community Health Foundation, he expressed that he's really interested in the healthcare, improving the healthcare system in Sierra Leone.
And in sports, 2 Sierra Leonean players who were stranded in Algeria for the Conte and Abu Toure have returned home with support from the Slava boss Aisha Yuwansin and the International Organization for Migration, the IOM, after the said players were allegedly trafficked by unknown persons. For these, making headlines. Now let's get you details of the news. The winner of the just concluded by-election in Constituency 110, Honorable Kade Davies, has described a victory as a win for democracy and the rule of law. She also promised to have a stakeholders engagement to map out a strategy for the development of the constituency. Judge Elliot Sam takes up the story.
After a long, bitterly fought rerun election, Kade Davies of the All People's Congress has been declared by the National Returning Officer of the National Electoral Commission, MOHAMED. When speaking, the very elected Honorable Kade Davies said that her win is a win for democracy and rule of law, adding that her first point of intervention is going to be holding a stakeholders engagement with all parties to map out a clear sanity for growth of the constituency.
I feel extremely honored and pleased because we've been to this race. This is the 3rd time now. We voted once, twice, and this is the 3rd time. It is a contentious election, and trust me, the voices of our people need to be heard. So I'm really, really happy and honored for this day. My first point of intervention is for me to call a stakeholder meeting, as I did the last time that I was elected. I called all the stakeholders to a meeting for us to map out the way to embark on developmental activities in that constituency, which we did. Before I was deposed from Parliament, we worked on almost 85% of the developmental activities that we are mapped out. So trust me, this is going to be another procedure again by doing an inclusive consultation with all the stakeholders, because I cannot do it all by myself.
Ambassador Usman Fodeyansane, Secretary General of the All People's Congress, described the victory as a vaccination for party, adding that in spite of the intimidation and heavy deployment of big wins in the ruling party on polling day, they were still able to poll through.
Well, let me say that we feel vindicated, particularly in constituency 110. It will now change the dynamics in Parliament. We won the election, the general election of 2018. A rerun was ordered without any justifiable reason. But as law-abiding citizens, we accepted the ruling of the High Court and participated diligently in the rerun election last year, 2019. But as you all know, the election was aborted by the brutal intervention of senior members of the SLP, which led to the destruction of ballot boxes, and contained in the act that regulates the conduct of political parties, that is the Public Elections Act. Punitive action should have been taken by NEC and the police.
Honorable Kade Davies concluded by stating that she is ready to work with her compatriot in the SLPP, as she said it was an all-women's affairs which she believes is in sync with women's empowerment.
Mind you, this competition is between two women. The most important thing is that we all are yearning for women participation in Parliament. You know, what is important is that at least a woman has won the seat. She is a sister to me. We used to be a colleague, we used to be colleagues at Frobe College. So trust me, in politics, it's not a do or die game. She will be my sister. I'll reach out to her for us to come together and see how best will work in the interest of Constituency 110. Constituency 110. This is your humble servant, the newly elected for another third time, Honorable Kadie Davies, talking to you. Let's be calm in our celebration. Let's have respect for our opponent, because this is a task at hand. We cannot do it all by ourselves. We need the others to team up with us, for us to work for the good of Constituency 110. Long live APC, long live Sierra Leone. Thank you all.
For Star News in Freetown, George Elliott Sam reporting.
3 appeals court justices and 7 high court justices have on Friday, December 11th, subscribed to the oath of office before the Honorable Chief Justice, His Lordship Justice Desmond Babatunde Edwards.
I would like to call Martin Fisher to come forward.
I, Adrian Fisher, do hereby, in the name of God, swear that I will faithfully and truly discharge the duties of the office of Justice of the High Court of the Republic of Sierra Leone, and that I will support, uphold, and maintain the Constitution of Sierra Leone as by law established, and the usages of Sierra Leone without fear or favor, affection, or ill will. So help me God.
Before I call this ceremony to an end, I would want comments from two sets of people.
As I said, it's a great challenge, and it's a challenge that you must win. They've said it all to all of you, I need not go back. But my main concern is the relatives, the parents, the friends, and their close associates. It's a great tax that has been imposed on them. Please help them to grow, and please help them to abide by the oath that they have taken. Because it will reach a time when probably you may be fortunate to have matters and they are signed before them. Please do not influence them. They've taken a oath. Don't influence them. Don't say, oh, Fisher is my man. Bonnie is my man. I have a matter. I'm going to win it. No. Let us help them so that the law will develop. So people will have confidence in the judiciary. I am saying this because I've been a High Court judge, now Court of Appeal judge, and these are some of the challenges that we face normally. So please let us help them to develop the law so that the jurisprudence of this country will grow.
I always, like I usually do, I always welcome recently appointed judges. Well, not for the ones who are appointed as acting appeal court judges. I mean, I did say the same thing when they were first time appointed as judges. But then, like has been expressed by the Lord Chief Justice, it's an arduous task. Most of us wake up at 2 a.m. in the morning and walk straight. 9, come to court. Through the day, 5, you go home, you eat, you sleep. That's a life. As I said, we do that because we love the job. And that's one thing you all should realize. If you don't love the job and you're there only for the days you fail, forget it. You'll never make it. You have no business coming here. But again, as we go about our normal duties, I always say, my advice is that no one has monopoly knowledge.
All newly appointed active judges. Mr. Attorney General, my Lord Justice Holloway, Justice of the Court of Appeal, Justice of the High Court, invited guests, ladies and gentlemen, this marks the end of this ceremony. I thank you all for coming.
The Board of Trustees, management and staff of the National Social Security and Insurance Trust, NASSIT, has on Friday, December 11th, during the second edition of the Employers Banquet held at the Radisson Blue Hotel in Freetown, awarded 33 most compliant institutions for their prompt and regular registration to the NASSIT scheme. Now, according to the Director General, NASSIT, MOHAMED, the award ceremony is a call for more compliant action to help enhance the growth and development of the scheme. Abdulrahman Kamara compiled this report, read by Alusain Abubakar Bangura.
The Minister of Labour and Social Security, Alpha Timbo, noted that the establishment of NASSIT is the greatest thing to ever have happened and called for stringent measures over the non-compliant by institutions.
The object for which NASSIT is established is to make sure they receive contributions from employers for their workers. So NASSIT has the responsibility to register employers and their organizations, the workers, and to ensure they keep correct records for these insurable employees. They have to manage the trust effectively and efficiently, including investment of funds. That is why in the Act, at least some measures are prescribed that will guide the Board of Trustees in any form of investment that they should undertake, because it is at the end of the day, out of those contributions and the investments, the monies generated out of the investment, that workers receive their benefits, which reflects the amount, the period they have contributed during their work life.
On his part, the Minister of Trade, Dr. Edward Hinga Sandi, reiterated the strides made by NASSIT over the years and called for more collaborative support.
One-stop shop to support all investors who truly want to come and do business in this country. So that once you come, we're able to land you safely and be able to start doing your business. Our commitment in the medium-term National Development Plan lends support to all of what I've just mentioned. And I think the Ministry of Trade and Industry, through these kinds of occasions, will continue to create more platform for public-private dialogue on a wide range of issues with government institutions. I want to give you the guarantee and to assure you all that whatever difficulty you may be going through, be it with regards to payment of NASSIT contributions of your employees, or tax issues, or any issues that has to do with doing business, the doors of the Ministry of Trade and Industry is open. Thank you very much.
The Director General of NASSIT, Mohamed Dabo, commended the compliance institutions and called on others to emulate their good work. He maintained that NASSIT is taking a progressive trajectory in ensuring pensioners and retirees claim their benefits on time without delay as it used to be.
This Employers Banquet and Awards Night is a forum where the Trust and our members, especially the employers, get together with the aim of fostering improved relationship and partnership, deepen understanding of the work of the Trust, and engender stronger commitment to and support for NASSIT programs, especially in the areas of registrations, contributions and data management, and also to recognize and award some of those employers who have fully complied with the provision of the NASSIT Act No. 5 of July 2001, and to encourage non-compliant institutions that compliance is a must. Ladies and gentlemen, permit me to briefly talk on the principles of social security and the NASSIT scheme as we move forward. Social security is a human right. Articles 22 and 25 of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, enacted by the United Nations, state that access to social security is a basic right. The Social Security Convention 102, adopted by the International Labour Organization in 1952, also prescribes minimum standards of benefits in the important areas of social security. The ILO defines social security as the protection that society provides to individuals and households to ensure access to health care and income security, particularly in the case of old age, unemployment, sickness, invalidity, work injury, maternity, and loss of the breadwinner.
Foster News in Freetown, compiled by Abdulrahman Kamara, read in our studios by Alusain Abubakar Bangura.
While you're still watching the news bulletin here on Star TV. Now, the founder and CEO of Community Health Foundation, Linda MUKSON, SESAY, has held the visit of the Honorable Vice President, Dr. Mohamed JULDEH, to the site of a proposed maternity and pediatrics hospital at the Silicon Road, Mile 91, as historic and a further testament to the fact that the country is more than ready to make major interventions in the health sector. Compiled by Alfie Bari, read by Isabella Stanley.
The CEO and founder of the Community Health Foundation, MUKSON SESAY, when speaking, noted that the idea behind the foundation is to make marked intervention in the health, which she said needs a lot of support. She noted that since the formation of a foundation, they have made several interventions, adding that recently they were able to conduct a maternity and pediatrics hospitals in a record time. When speaking about the visit of the Honorable Vice President to the proposed site of the hospital and at the same time on the just completed maternity clinic.
The purpose of the visit for Honorable Dr. MOHAMED JULDEH JALLOH was for him to see the current project we are doing at Community Health Foundation. He expressed that he's really interested in the healthcare, improving the healthcare system in Sierra Leone. So seeing that Community Health Foundation is also willing to improve the healthcare, so he's more interested in knowing what we are doing. So that's why he decided to pay a visit to see the project that we are doing right now.
MUKSON SESAY hailed this visit as a remarkable and clear testament to the unflinching commitment on the side of the government to elevate the health sector.
Actually excited, he was impressed as far as I'm concerned, and he said that we should let him know or let the government know if we need any support to continue our work. I'm actually not sure right now. I don't know what they can provide. So, but what I know is the current support that I'm having with the Ministry of Health, I really appreciate it. Because like when we send medical equipment, they give us a DT waiver, we don't pay, so that's a good support. It helps strengthen our mission.
She concluded by noting that the Vice President was impressed by her work and stated that she is grateful to the officials of the Ministry of Health for their continued waiver they have given her in bringing her medical products for her people. For Star TV News, I am Isabella Stanley.
As a way of looking into the activities of private schools in the country, Community Action to Restore Lives, KADE, and its partners has launched the Regulation of Private School campaign at U Building in Freetown. JALLOH was there and she files in this report.
Madiana Samba, the executive director of KADE, said that coming together to regulate private schools is not because they hate private school, but the burden is too much on parents.
We come together not because we hate private schools. We want to all man know that day. Some of we begin and they have private schools. We got to begin away to go private school. But the burden too much on parents and from them. That makes you mama me here we want nice and beginning at private school because it don't sound like a status thing. But because the money is too high, they're not able to afford it. So we ask government to regulate them so that it not be too high, so that all the kids will able to go to the school where he wants to go. So that I will call on all and will accept. We want to accept the invitation. We're glad for that. We also say the artists them we're able to spread the word. When they sing, they remember say the free college education. If government wants to have the private school will overtake, then all the efforts of government will go in vain. So we appreciate the school begin them. They work with me under the impact project, attracting the teachers that will take care of them. We appreciate you now all we partners them, all we donors them, all the media institutions, television stations, radio, everybody, with Facebook manager, everybody where they do this program. Make sure that the world know about it. We appreciate you now all. I will say the statements they hold today, they will touch the hearts them, so that they provide the whole effect for. They will able to make them begin a lamb for salon in better one.
David M. Senge, the Minister of Basic and Secondary School Education, has endorsed KADE initiative in regulating private schools.
I do fundamentally believe that everybody, no matter who you are, where you come, should have access to the same standards and the same quality of education. I do understand choices that we have to make, but your social economic class or your welfare or your accessibility should not be a reason for you to get better quality education. So for this, and friends, this is our fight. So we believe in this fight and we are good in this fight. Thank you.
Magdalene Jimmy, the project officer of CAL, said that public schools should have equal opportunities with private schools.
Public schools should have equal opportunities as private schools, so that the private school also will accommodate every child, whether poor, whether rich, because as we can see, the school fees and all other things, that their academic what they require, their payments in schools, we see that there is a segregation or discrimination against poor kids. Automatically in our society that there is this discrimination, that rich kids go to private school, poor kids go to government schools. And we automatically think also that when you go to government school, you don't have proper education. And so we want to put an end to that so that our government schools becomes the Athens of West Africa once again. We want to create a very level playing field for these kids so that whether you go to private school, whether you go to government school, you have equal education.
Reporting for Star TV News, I am JALLOH.
For the roundup and news bulletin, let's turn attention to the sporting world as two Sierra Leonean players who were stranded in Algeria for the Kade and Abdul Toure have returned home with support from the Slava boss Aisha Yuansin and the International Organization for Migration, the IOM, after the said players were allegedly trafficked by unknown persons. Our sports correspondent, Bulletin John, has more for you.
Hello everyone, compliments of the season. Welcome for today's sporting news. The president of the Sierra Leone Football Association, Aisha Yuansin, in collaboration with the International of Migration, IOM, have saved two Sierra Leonean players from Nigeria after they stranded over 2 months. According to Fode Toure and Abdul Toure, who are the victims, said they traveled from Sierra Leone to Nigeria after they paid over 10 million yen to one unknown individual to be part of the club in Nigeria. But since then, the individual disappeared since they left. Here is the news.
Two Sierra Leonean players who play their professional football at home in Kabbalah have returned home from Nigeria after they stranded over 3 months. According to Fode Conte and Abdul Toure, they were rescued by the president of the Sierra Leone Football Association, Aisha Yuansin, and the International Organization of Migration after these players were abandoned in Nigeria. Abdul Toure and Fode Conte explain more to Star Sport about their predicament.
We go Algeria through ignorance and the person will make people they know say that football we play, tell you say football we play, which of course can lie. Football we play.
What are these person?
I didn't family, still they are Algeria, but this how we go good money, they up, they don't salute the women like Kabbalah.
Okay. So what everything be involved in this process?
We go through a lot and we suffer. The program all about the deal and net to the travel, desert to desert, we suffer. So we go inside Algeria now, we call and I make people call. So they catch you, they pull all things away. It's evident that we have good people don't know because salon business they help you. And we close them for well. The sleepers. We fall inside mice, the Ulvis or Boko Haram, the Ulvi, beat me. Instead of call for money. So they help you, they free to Canada camp. So we Canada camp, now we call the manager, we have a coach of Canada and tell them. I tell them, I tell, call Joansi, me and Joansi talk now. We go fast track everything.
Who's Joansi, the president of the football association?
Yes, ma'am.
How much money will be paid so for go on this journey?
The money will pay, we give the man 10 million euros cash. But the balance now in the game because we don't know the game money there. Tell us how football, good business now $50 for 1 month. All that money they will give you in advance.
So how this journey take for you as a footballer now when I don't come back? How you come back? What make you come back?
I will never come back. And I see if I did and I don't play football, football I'm a dream. I don't go to school, not play football. My family, most of my family members, I don't mean no one pick up on football. They don't get it. So I one fast track time, the man tell me about fast track time, I go make out. But it's not possible. Like, I go Nigeria through me, come to Sierra Leone. Yes, like, maybe tell me, say, because unfortunately for me, now I go through, let me say, stormy blood. Intel we say, because you know say we're not footballer.
Okay.
We're not footballer. So you tell me say, like, Algeria football they play there with them. So you tell me, say football they play in Algeria with them. So say we go pick up, we go Spain. That's not the main motive. We play ball. So we say we go Algeria. But unfortunately for we, like always until we only between a prison, between two things that we have. Medal, award, certificates there. We lost any, even we have.
Okay.
There's a solution our country.
So what are the Sierra Leonean we take you from Sierra Leone to Algeria?
Famoro. I need Famoro.
What's the idea? Maybe the Kabbalah? Famoro?
Yeah, Famoro. Because the one we say more go pay to you. You all pay to money na brother.
Okay.
My own brother. After one pay the money.
What name got a name? According to the public relations officer of the Sierra Leone Football Association, Ibrahim Kamara, the Football Association intervened to see how they saved the life of these players. Allegedly, they were taken by unknown individual as trafficking. The Football Association, CAF, FIFA is against these acts. Ibrahim Kamara, public relations officer of the Football Association, speak more on the issue.
We are basically at the Freetown International Airport today to receive two players, that have arrived on board a special flight from Algeria, basically. They were there stranded. Actually, it all started when the Football Federation received the confidential information that a number of football players are stranded, in Algeria, basically. So yes, the president of the FA stepped in collaboration with the CAF, obviously UNICEF, and the International Organization for Migration, that is IOM, basically to facilitate that repatriation. And they're here now. Basically, this is where we're here to receive them today.
Meanwhile, the two players have returned back to Kabbalah. For Star TV Sports in Freetown, I am Elton John reporting. This is a big lesson for young players coming up. You heard the story from these two players. They have returned back home after they were rescued by President Aisha Yuantin and the International of Migration, that is IOM. We hope that these young boys have learned their lesson. Let's turn attention in the international scene over the weekend. It was a nightmare for Arsenal Football Club after we saw Aubameyang score one goal against his own team. Arsenal, they were defeated by Burnley 1-0. Here's highlight of the match. Disappointment for Arsenal Football Club over the weekend. Also, we saw Chelsea went down 1-0 to Everton. They fought very, very hard to win the game, but it was so difficult for them. That's all for sports for today's news.
Many thanks for watching. That's all we have for you in a national news bulletin file. Do stay with us. I am Leonora Jawara. Stay blessed.